मैं लाइव कर रहा हूँ मस्त
Were really amazing because even with this kind of pattern that we already laid down, there is always a variation to it. Now,
कहाँ लाइव कर रहे हैं?
that's immediately a Harry.
Wow, this is a really incredible read coming in from AE.
क्या नाम क्या है?
Their own opener, knowing that they're expecting some sort of traditional marksman in the goal. You know what? Let's force you to at least take
अरे
a
मेरे
profile.
उसमें
But that does
मैंने
leave,
फोटो
you know, a
डाल
lot
रखा
to be
है
said. Fredrin, 100% win rate coming in from Demon Kai. Why would you let that through knowingly as AE locks in the Phobius?
Because they are prepared for it. They will pick up the Phobius to counteract the potential exploding lure coming out from Aurora. Pixel will just ban out the counters to the
पहला
Phobius.
गेम मैंने देखा
For
जिसमें
example,
दोनों
the
MM
Esmeralda,
टाइप
or
में
they
लिए
can pick that up. Oh, no, they will not pick it up. And also because
Cloud
they know
और
that
इधर
it is
Harry
also an answer to the Harry potentially.
वरना भाई बंदे
Phobius in the
बंदे
explosive
सीधे
Metalea, and then maybe a Farsa as their fourth pick. It makes it so that
बंदे
their
पता क्या करते हैं
first turtle
वो
is
नहीं
so strong up against
सोरा
the
खुला है
Fredrin.
भाई
Now let's talk about the upcoming mid
Sora
trio.
खुला है
I'm already seeing Tro getting banned out for the side of AE. The fact that they also got rid of the
देखो
Khalid in the
इसमें भी
very
देखो
first phase
मैंने बोला
does
था
give
ना
me an idea that AE want to fight for the mid lane
जुक्सिंग
somehow.
और वो
They
चल
know that
रही
they
है भाई
could
अभी
get
ये लोग
Eve later down the
फारसा
line,
ईव
but
और
they've waited
जुक्सिंग
so long
यही
for it,
तीन मेनली
allowing
ज्यादातर
Aurora to
MM
potentially
चलती हैं
ban it.
Yeah, that's right.
Gentlemen, can I just say I'm very happy that we're opening up where both teams are kind of playing to their comfort, playing to their own play style because Aurora, I would say 100% win against SRG when they go for utility jungle, and now Alter Ego, even the first opening here, they're already showing the willingness to fight and picking up this Claude again, the pick that was able to beat Team Liquid Philippines.
हाँ उधर
Now,
नीनो
I'm
उधर वो
actually
पिक कर
not going to be
रखा है
surprised
ना
if the
उधर
chip is going to be banned by Alter Ego. There it is.
चिप बैन
It's such a good ban because I think you would think that maybe the Hylas is a better ban or maybe a Badang because of their composition. But Aurora have shown that they are willing to pick up the chip. And with Fredrin, with Jushin and Harith, you can easily activate those heroes and chip will be a difficult matchup if ever they prefer. So this is a smart ban.
It's taking away multiple different angles to actually engage in these fights. And personally, for me, I think it's a better option because Hylos as well as Gatot are very straightforward. They're kind of leaning
Last ban क्या होगा रोरा का
in
बताओ
comparison to Chip
उई
itself.
Oh, they're forcing the Farsa, but Alter Ego might just go for Lunox here.
Honestly, even Farsa is not bad. Having that Kalia can kind of give you quite a lot
Farsa
of tempo
open.
in early. In fact, you don't even have to rush it, right? You can
Farsa
pick up your
open
jungler,
है,
but if your jungler is
अभी
going to be
सोरा भी
something
खेल रहा है कि
that
नहीं?
Zephyr really wants
अरे
to
तू
surprise
वो
us
देखना
again, yeah, you could just pick up your mid here.
M7 देख रहा हूँ
Farsa or
मैं
Lunox,
फाइनल है
or
फाइनल
खेल
है
रहा है
Kalia.
Farsa is the safest option, obviously.
अल्टर ईगो का रोरा
Aurora
का
will
क्या
not
देखूं?
pick up the Yujo anymore. I think they will just go for the Lapu Lapu because it just makes sense.
फाइनल है
right?
ना
So much safer. So much
रोरा
safer.
का और अल्टर ईगो
देख-
का
You also
हूँ।
have that option of the
हाँ, भाई।
Esmeralda.
Oh wait, no,
देखते हैं ना
Armor
भाई
is still
मस्त
available.
पहला मैच है
That's-
Oh yeah.
इसी का तो वेट कर रहा था मैं
Phobius,
Yeah, but
भाई
against
फारसा
Farsa
पिक हो
and
गया
Terence का चल
right?
I think it boils down to the question,
उसका
and can we trust you enough to hold out in the lane till we get to the mid game?
Terence किधर गया?
अरे उसका पावर कट हो गया था वाईफाई का
ओए ओए टेरेंस
yeah, I think
बता
the
तो रहा हूँ पावर
maybe
कट हो
the
गया था
Terence
उसका
can also be picked up, but
Or
it would-
CC.
the Lapu Lapu is the best option here.
हाँ
They need damage. They need that bridge for the turtle fights.
पावर कट हो गया था उसका
अरे बोला मैं भी देख रहा हूँ जाके
Yuzong is still open.
हाँ, आजा देखते हैं बढ़िया
They can go Hylas or Gatot. Kind of depends.
जैसे
on
इनका
what they
गेम
want.
खत्म होता है फिर एक दो गेम खेलते हैं फिर जब चालू होता है फिर देखते हैं ऐसे
Good call,
करेंगे
Wolf. Good call.
Hylos
If you're
और
Alter Ego,
Lapu
you're going to
Lapu
be looking for your jungler now. Up against the Fredrin, you usually think about the Akai, right? Akai is good.
अल्टर ईगो हाइपर क्या लेगी
Winning
बता
Veer, actually. But what if they go Suyo? There's
युजुको
not much
हाइपर क्या
magic
लेगा
damage from,
युजुके
from the other sources, but apparent, of course, in the early game.
बोलेगी यूरेनस
But they do have a lot of CC, which is
Hyper
why I'm a
में
little
भाई,
concerned
hyper
about this,
में।
right? Does that mean that
YSS.
if we go for Suyo, we
YSS
just have
तो
to
नहीं
admit,
जाएंगे,
you
I
know what,
think,
we're not going to go for the neutrals until Lords. We're looking to get advantages in lane.
लेंस भी नहीं जाएगा
Just win early, right?
नोला
But they pick up the Nolan instead. So again,
What?
this is
Nolan.
Alter Ego saying like, we got somewhere to be, guys.
भाई
Let's
ऊपर
end the
सारे
game
लगभग
very
टैंक
fast. What do you
हैं
feel
तीन
about the
तो
draft
टैंक ही हैं एक
for
तरह से
Aurora?
I think it's pretty even.
But
There's
Nolan-
a slight advantage for Alter Ego.
Well, what about you, Gideon?
I don't know. I think that it's a little
ये
more
नहीं समझा
lopsided
मैं।
than that. I think that Rora definitely is going to be slower in the early stages of the game, but if they keep it tight, I think mid game.
मैं नोला नहीं समझा भाई लिटरली बता
You know
रहा
what?
हूँ
I'm very sorry to the stats on screen, but I legit don't care because at this point, there's something that you can't
रोरा
calculate.
लिटरली आ गया
That's the
भाई
player spirit here, using all their favorite heroes. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that the draft has finished up, this is game number
रोरा
1.
रोरा पहले गेम में तो ड्राफ्ट में तो अच्छा खासा आ गई है भाई
So now we're gonna be throwing it over to our casters, Leo, Trex.
क्या फ्रेडन इतना भाग नहीं मतलब इतना वो नहीं कर पाएगा कीप अप नोलन के साथ तो नोलन अच्छा ठीक है पिक तो खैर वैसे काल बता वैसे कौन जीतेगा बता काल
Taking a look at this draft, we have a new pick, at least from last series and all of yesterday. We haven't seen Yazuke on this Nolan yet, and he's going to bring it up in game number 1. This is all about feeling each other out in a best of 7.
पता कौन जीतेगा अरोरा जीतेगी या अल्टर ईगो जीतेगा बता
The Suyo, something that wants to go fast and something that is very alter ego.
अल्टर ईगो भाई लेकिन अल्टर ईगो ने कल तो वो है बहुत तबाही मचाई थी भाई कल तो
So it's clear that Coach Zephyr, Professor X's needs and foresight are coming through. Quick peek at the emblems if you plan on playing Nolan in this current metagame. There's not much really changing here. Oh, big start mid.
Yep, just a little bit more damage over on Yue. Alec bucket passive constantly getting the sustain over Ijume.
I mean,
ये तो नॉर्मल फाइट चल रहा है यार भाई
still nobody goes down. Demon Kite on this Fred run, I mean, I feel like their draft, they just keep it so simple. They keep it very Aurora Gaming PH. And if they win with
उधर
this,
से
it's a very good start from them because they don't have to change too much.
लेन फ्रीज कर रखा है पता है उसने हैरत में
Basic breakfast or like a little glass of milk, a cup of coffee, if you will. Alter Ego though, they're flexing how deep their hero pool
इधर से भी कर रखा है भाई
could have sworn they were going to go utility as well since there is a good combo in Hijume and Alec and then they can bank on Arfi, but Yazuke, the hero pool of this young man.
And this is what we were kind of teasing about in the pre-match, right? We were talking about how Alter Ego, they want to go fast, but Aurora Gaming Philippines, they know how to play slow. They know how to slow the tempo down all the way to a point where Alter Ego makes mistakes. And already they're setting up, but look.
ओहो 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 खत्म
Demon Kite take it down the
भाई
like for the re-engage. You wait pops the Crimson Deacon, able to get a Lantern Flare. Edward jumps in now with the Brave Spider. It's going to be Nino in the back line.
ओए
Edward.
Way, taking a lot of damage, might just go
गई
down
गई गई
here.
गई 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 गई
Alec will take a few shots.
गई
With in front of pursuit now jumps again.
भाई
Another jump forward, but now he's caught in the bad
Bro,
place.
Nino,
Has a
man.
stock of the in front of pursuit. Will be able to go for the jump again and again. Takes
Nino,
a turret
bro.
shot and gets shanked by Demon Kite as Yazuke moves to the purple buff.
A speedy response from Alter Ego, just as speedy as their start. Demon Kite with a clutch take, didn't even use retreat.
Alter Ego start things off fast. They do win out in kills. It's still the first turtle on the map though. Yazuke tries to take a different path.
भाई 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 ये वाली फाइट बहुत तगड़ी इंगेज हुई थी भाई
Yep, flickers were used, and now we're jumping over Turtle 1.
Nino in the back going in for Yue. Suzuki is going to be taken very low by
ओए
Edward.
ओए बच गया
He's going to go for the stun. Glorious Pathway coming down as the turtle was already secured by Demon Cap, but now it's going to be Nino all alone. Crimson Beacon and Lantern Flare picking him up. He's trying to go for the pursuit on Wade by Nino. Jumps
Nino
over
गया
Edward, gets another proc, but will be slain by Edward.
ज़्यादा आगे चला गया ये
Has to
लोग
get out of here with a tsunami slam, looking for the escape.
Alec cannot escape. There was a lantern on him and a big horse.
अरोरा के पास भाई लीड आ गई
For El Padre to be pushing their limits. Again, this is a Phobius. You need some modicum of items built to be able to do that.
Luckily, Yazuke, though, keeps on getting out of these fights. As long as Yazuke stands tall, they have a chance in future neutral objectives. All the games that we saw last time, when they lost, Yazuke had a bad game, so it's huge to keep him on 1-0.
You're alluding to his game on the Fanny, the clincher against SRG. Yeah, I could have sworn, watching that too, we're going all the way. But I agree, Yazuke needs that same amount of patience. Sure, he hasn't got punished yet, hasn't died, but if you want to take it to Rora Gaming, you have to play the slow game.
And this is the thing about the Nolan. You actually shouldn't be contesting a neutral objective early. Yes, if there are real situations where Nino can actually zone Demon Kite, then take it. But now they're going to go for the dive in the bottom lane. Alec, flicker in, Tsunami snap.
Oh, oh, भाई
Over on Edward. And it's a pick down
हेलो
below. Well, look at the
भाई क्या चल रहा
response from
है
Aurora Gaming, Glorious Pathway.
Arfi just needs to go home at this point. He's got to get out of here. The BMI, the Blazing Duet.
Cancelled out now, the pickup and the throw down back. But again, it's Light who takes the kill.
Could have gone better for Aurora, but macro-wise,
Bro.
the trade is good. It's an XP laner for a gold laner. Well, are my eyes damned? Is that an orange steal from Yazuke?
Seems no. Demon Kai has the orange ball.
Okay, so that's all the way from his own.
Yep.
All right, so still, the trade stands. That's what's holding Aurora Gaming's 500 gold lead. It's the trade for the Lapu Lapu for the Claude. It's not a good start for Arfi.
I will say this, though. They're getting the trade in the EXP lane does even things out between Edward and Nino. Nino already took 2 deaths, so that makes Nino a little more helpful in these future fights.
Jump over on Alec from Edward. Bravest fighter already used up, but Demon Kite is on the turtle, and Yazuke doesn't seem interested. Now his light. It's counter passive, but that's about it. It's free for Aurora. RP blazing duet up top.
That's an oath in the gold lane. So far, Aurora Gaming have bridged their early game. They figured out, hey, we can be this. I'm holding my hands out about 6 inches apart. This aggressive against the alter ego.
अर्ली में कितना भी हुआ लेकिन पीछे तो आ
Because,
रहा है
hey,
भाई,
they're
कर
willing
दिया
to fight.
पीछे.
Little bit of pressure. Tsunami slam.
The lockdown now with Hijime going for the sun as well. Big bonk. Alec gonna be taking it now. Good taunt coming down as Nino rotates and flanks him on the other side. Stay in front of Pursuit.
Good one, bhai. Good one, bhai.
Nino over on you with the Crimson Beacon. Gets him to safety, and now they go back to the mid lane.
So 2
दो
down
गए
on the
भाई
side of
उनके,
Aurora
2.
Gaming. A tower does go into the hands of
still
Aurora
वो
Gaming.
ahead है
but
भाई.
Alter Ego are getting away with pushing this aggression in the early game.
Nino not letting the early stumbles take over. Once bitten, never shy. El Padre pushing forward. Dominic finds Yasuke. But again, that's what you get with a Nolan. You get mobility, you get... And ladies and gentlemen, look at this crowd just outside Tennis Indoor Sinai.
Bye.
Be our national sport. At this point, it might just be, dude. Everybody in Indonesia has finally come through.
All right, so taking a look at the items, Arfi only about 360 gold behind, and when we finally have marksman gold laners like this, they are going to be very important in the first, second lords, those big fights that ultimately matter. Starlium Sight does lock in for Domin Kite in the jungle. Even with the 2 deaths on Demon Kite, Yasuke isn't too far ahead.
And just to put this into context, being a tank jungler, you don't need that much farm. So that just spells how slow the farm is for Yasuke. He clears waves much, much faster than Demon Kite. So this is a slow start for Yasuke.
Playing in the bush, Arfi's gonna try to go for the catch mission, and all in coming down. Arfi blazing duet. Tsunami slam based on a purified.
Oh, nice one, nice one.
Onto Arfi, turtle up top though is the response from Aurora.
I don't know how worth it is to trade your gold laner for the turtle. I'm sure Aurora saw that a mile away.
Yeah, that's a big win for Alter Ego. Plus, big chance of getting this tower on bot as Alter Ego blocks off Light and UA to try to get down to
भाई
save
अल्टर
it.
ईगो अगेन आ गया भाई ऊपर.
Trades all
लग ही
over.
रहा था बस कि
And so
अल्टर ईगो
far,
थोड़ा पीछे
I
रह
think
गया, लेकिन
Alter
नहीं
Ego
भाई,
won the
काफी
past
आगे है.
couple.
पर
That puts
लेकिन
Aurora Gaming in a weird position. The
ठीक है
one
भाई.
lane that they for sure won, that gold lane, they just
यार
lost.
अरोरा के
thing
पास
is,
स्ट्रॉन्ग
Aurora Gaming's
लेट गेम
okay
फाइट है
with a
भाई, स्ट्रॉन्ग
500
लेट
gold
गेम फाइट है
deficit,
भाई.
right? They're okay with a 1,000 gold deficit. The whole point of this strategy here is to buy time till around 9-10 minutes, wait till a couple lords where they can beat you out in macro and in big grouped up team fights.
What you're saying is slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Exactly.
So getting there is an inevitability. It's up to Alter Ego to force Aurora to stumble. And that's why Aurora's backing off.
Nami's on the glorious pathway again. UA able to go for Crimson Beacon, flicker up from Hijime, but gets picked up and thrown back to the fray as Light goes in with Edward. But all I can say, I'm going to sustain Arfi.
Arfi into the backside with a blazing duet.
Gets big bonked
Oh,
on. Another
nice
puncher coming
one,
from Yasuke
भाई.
to take Domin Kite down as Nino continues to jump back and forth. Inferno pursuit, but now
Nice
it's
one,
UA
यार,
to
Nino.
lock him down.
Nino
He
sacrifice
goes
हो गया
for
उसके
one
चक्कर
last
में.
one, but Edward cuts him down.
याजुकी के चक्कर में सेक्रीफाइस हो गया भाई.
Falls, and Yasuke, instead of going for the purple, Demon Kite reciprocates.
Trade for trade, purple for purple, but for the first time, Aurora Gaming gets a huge win on that team fight. They turn it into a tower as well.
AE seems to have met their match.
1k का लीड है भाई, 1k का भी तो
Unspeakable amount of aggression, unparalleled, met with an Ube lineup that breaks through your
1K
box.
का
This
lead है
is
भाई
the
भैया.
unboxing strat that Wolf often talks about. Aurora Gaming, the way their lineup works is, it's just ungodly amounts of crowd control that the backline just can't even come in. Hijime just popped like that.
Big Sky Piercer pickup there, and every time Light sees the feathered airstrike, he just starts running at him.
That's a straight line.
Straight line.
All right, so from here, taking a look at these gold laners once again, still at about a standstill. 2 items for 2 items. I think the question is, you know, normally the Cloud has been so much better in terms of things, but Domang on the Harith, he's his own breed at this point.
Yep, and that's the thing. When it comes to Arfi, he's good on the marksman, but he's not great. He's great on the Freyas, on the fighters as well. And you can clearly see Arfi, he got canceled on that fight. He went in way too early, and now Rora's holding the turret for the Lord.
Dance has begun. Alter Ego making their move, the conceal from Alec.
You know, walking broken up, but Edward doing the same thing now with the help of Glorious Pathways. Tsunami Slam is able to lock
खत्म
it now. Look at the damage on Ijume.
खत्म फारसा
In the back with light. And now
साथ
Yasuke
में
goes down as well.
याजुके भी
Oh my
गया
God,
लॉर्ड भी
so
गया
good.
और ये
Nino
फाइट
jumping
बहुत
to the back line
तगड़ी
now, trying to
गई
go
है
in for
भाई
a pursuit, but again it's going to be Domenkai and Yue. Domenkai
Nino
doing enough
also
to take
gone,
Nino
man.
down with the help of Yue.
Alter Ego struggle in these situations where they're not the aggressors.
बड़ा ही सेट
They're
मैन
not the
जितना
threat,
चला लेट गेम
they're
उतना ही
not
गेम
in control. Aurora Gaming on
अल्टर
the
ईगो के लिए
flip
खराब होता
of
जाएगा
a
भाई
dive.
इससे उनके पास
Go for the heart of
आरफी
the
है
lineup.
लेट गेम
If
के
that's
लिए
what
और
led to
एंड
this
नो वन
massive
फॉर
win.
लेट गेम मैन एंड
Alter
आल्सो
Ego
फारसा
already
इट्स
down
अमेज
to
मैन
inhibitors on the mid side. Aurora
He
Gaming just
can-
punching a straight
can't do
line with the
anything
Lord
more
coming
than
soon.
dot
It's been a while since we've seen
support.
a carry Lapu Lapu. But that is what Edward is right now.
Thanks.
Mr. Consistent, consistently finding Hijume, compromising Arfi. The one combo you have, Tsunami Slam into either of these carries should do it. That's what's making Yasuke's job so hard is, how do I clean up? What do I clean up?
I think the big thing for Alter Ego in past games is they're able to last it up. Wait a second.
There we go. That's a big charge from the Lord at the mid lane. They crack it
almost
open
end
with
man
no
almost end
response from Alter Ego. Arfi
Wait,
taking a big portion of
good
that
one,
damage. Dark
bhai.
Wave landing on 3, but there's no damage currently. And Aurora have had enough. They crack open a base turret, and now it's back to the systematic Aurora.
what do you
Smelled
think guys
something was
still
fishy there. No
Aurora
vision
have
on
any
Yasuke.
chance
Where is he
to
hiding
win?
out? They decide, all right, we got what we came for. That's a huge win already this early. Let's back off.
This is a moment wherein our good friend Joseph would say they got their head on a swivel. They don't need to see Yasuke, but the fact that they don't see him
Means they see him.
should be a signal, yeah, that
They know where he at.
around.
He's not at the
They
base.
sniffed him, and now Yasuke commits Grand Theft Purple, guilty of one charge. Hijume forced to use the feathered airstrike just to clear mid. As
Light.
Aurora just flush out the jungle. All right, spots him, drops that glorious pathway. Hijume just wings by wings out.
At this point, it's a
Only-
mind game from Light, dude.
fight only trying to
And at this point, they're farming each other's
Catch
purples. I think
Farsa
that's
only,
like the
man.
third one
Wow.
to just go to opposite sides.
Cross jungling.
Cross jungling, exactly.
Light here gets that stun on Alec. Even Alec isn't having the greatest time. A majority of the targets that he can hit will either purify or would love to be in the center of Alter Ego's lineup.
All right, so taking a look at these items one more time.
Oh,
Yasuke's been
Demon Kite take.
farming his mind off, essentially. He's still ahead of Demon Kite, even with the gold deficit. His goal has been get your items up.
But him being ahead by 100 isn't where he wants to be. Again, tank items, ladies and gentlemen, are significantly cheaper than damage
Can
items.
also
So he wants the
take
500
red.
up. Because look, Demon Kite's Fredrin already has Athena Shield, Anti-Cuirass, Brute Force Breastplate. This is all he needs.
I would even go further, Leo. I feel like a 1,000 gold lead won't even cut it against a Fredrin on a Nolan. You need to be ahead by at least 2,000.
A full item.
A full item. And that's usually how it is when we see the Yisun Shin against a Fredrin, Nolan against a Fredrin, the fast clearers.
And that's what Aurora Gaming is doing so well here in game number 1. Not only are they winning head-on initiations, but they're able to find resources to take away from Yasuke. Light counter the
like
initiate.
only trying to
Now
catch
it's gonna be the disengage from
Izumi, man.
Nino. He goes
What is
for the
this?
Dark Wave landing it onto, but now Edward forced it to fight. That's good. Tsunami Slam to cancel out the last portion of the Raging Slash. Big bomb from Demon Kite,
Nino
and
won.
Edward cuts him down again. He's on a killing spree.
Yasuke still in the jungle, gonna try to lock on.
That ain't it. He got taunted by the Demon, and Domeng takes him down.
Yue and Domenkite are good targets, but not when there's two chunky boys next to them. Make it 3. A half man, half horse.
Wow,
And that's the way that Aurora Gaming is
bro,
approaching
what is
every
this,
single one
man?
of these fights. Everyone just huddles around Demon Kite and Light. Because if anyone tries to catch Domeng and if anyone tries to catch Yue, the taunt comes in. The little bonk from Hylos comes in.
We've got him
Full
in the
tank
last
जा
time
रहा है
Edward
Demon
was
का
on
भाई
this stage
Demon
in
Kite
this
full tank
arena,
जा रहा है
not
भाई
a single game he won, and he's just moments away from correcting that historically.
4, 1, and 6. Man is perform. Oh, wait a second. This is a classic Alter Ego move. Whenever the enemy gets a Lord, they go to look for the pickup, but can they take Edward down? Tsunami Slam coming down with the
Go
first
on.
damage of Hijume, and Edward will have the immortality, actually. I think that's enough to get him
Wait.
out. Edward does survive, and now he goes back in with a helmet Demon Kite. Meanwhile, Light at the back line with Yue
Yeah, bro.
jumping in as Domeng goes for the base. What is him on force
Bye,
already?
bye,
Yasuke
bye.
getting
Base
rid of
also
Yue.
one. वो
Domeng's
सिर्फ
gonna be all over the way.
distraction
Nino
था
comes
only
in behind.
only distraction man
Nino also trying to block it off as Yasuke works on the
Oh,
Lord.
Nino's all
still
alone, now
still
against
this
4. He's jumping
भाई
away from
बच गया
pursuit.
भाई
He's so tanky, but again, he's constantly jumping in as RP does a lot of the damage. Dark Wave coming in from Nino, but Domeng takes him down.
The minions are cleared, but one more wave against the base.
They're gonna go straight
Gone.
for it. No nonsense, Aurora.
भाई वो
taking
डिस्ट्रैक्शन
one.
था सिर्फ
Surgical and clean. Aurora knows which
हेलो
fights to
ब्रो
take.
क्या हाल है भाई
Alter Ego have met their match.
रेंडी ब्रो क्या हाल है ट्यू रेंडी ब्रो क्या हाल है ब्रो
Hopefully
भाई
at this point,
पहला
some
गेम भाई
lessons were
रोरा
learned
फिलिपिस ले चुके हैं भाई
from both
रोरा ले
sides,
चुका
but
है ये अलग
mostly
गेम
from
भाई
Alter Ego. If they're going to ban the Freya, you might just have to start banning the Fredrin. You might have to respect the other team as well.
And you gotta feel for Arfi in that situation. He went Claude, he's like, alright, go Purify or
बाय
Flicker.
बाय बाय बहुत
Why
तगड़ा
would I go
गेम था
Purify?
भाई
The only guy that can cancel me is Demon Kite on Fredrin. And we got a Phobias, we have a Barca, we have ways to stop him from going in. But then Demon Kite just says, yeah, nah.
What a rude
Bro,
awakening
awesome man
for
that
last
was
night's
awesome
multiple-time MVP winner, Arfi. This is one way to realize I'm not a great marksman. I'm pretty good, but not great. What else do Alter Ego have up their sleeves?
Well, one thing's for sure, they cannot give the Claude over to Domain.
All right. At this point, definitely don't give it a Domang. Definitely maybe start thinking about the Fredrin. But let's see what the panel has to say about it. An amazing first game, guys.
गुड वन यार ड्राफ्टिंग से पता चल गया था क्योंकि
I would say it's a
ड्राफ्टिंग में
perfect
काफी
way to
अच्छा था
open
भाई
up the
इनका
grand
पिक
finals. And gentlemen, the thing that I've noticed now after the first game of this grand finals, the whole story about M7 is your identity. The teams that figure out and stick to their identity will eventually win, and those that betray themselves will start to lose. Here, Aurora, again, bringing that utility jungler looks absolutely amazing, and so far, Arfi is the best when it comes to fighters in the gold lane. I think it's still pretty good on the Claude, but again, I kind of feel like at this point, either Alter Ego really needs to respect this strat coming in from Aurora and figure out a way to deal with it, or they just got to figure out their own identity and somehow give a fighter over to Arfi.
Well, I don't think they're moving too far away from their identity. I don't know if you'll agree with me, Wolf, but I think a lot of this game just boiled down to dividing and conquering in the early stages of the game. But I think Light, as the point guard, making clear decisions for the rest of the team. Hey, let's stop the feathered airstrike. I saw at the
बाय 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 ब्रो भाई ये वाला तगड़ा गया था भाई ये वाला गेम तगड़ा गया था भाई 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 फिर हो जाएगा क्या अभी 65 हो गया मेरा 10 लेवल अभी स्टिल मेरे को चाहिए और आई नीड मोर 10 लेवल्स मैन भाई भाई रिवॉर्ड्स फ्री ये देखो भाई कहाँ तक मिल गया मेरे को ये सब तो मिल गया है ये भी मिल गया है ये चाहिए ये सब तो मिल गया भाई यहाँ से ये चाहिए हो जाएगा काम भाई
wants, right? He doesn't need his ult to be relevant in these fights.
I wouldn't even go out of my way and say that the Chastise Soldier was actually the reason why we have fighter gold laners right now, because they're not dependent on attack speed. And in this scenario, you're looking at this Nolan as well as this Claude. The Claude will definitely suffer from this Chastise Soldier. The timing was just perfect. Now, let's talk about like how do you actually implement this utility strategy coming out from Aurora. This is a box type strategy that is really good at punishing those that it can unbox. If you're looking at the composition of Alter Ego, they kind of want to go front to back with this Nolan, with these movies, then eventually with this Claude, but they can also go dive. I think that Alter Ego chose to continuously dive against Aurora, and the result is they just kept getting picked off. I think their formation wasn't good enough for them to implement this kind of strategy because they are always diving into the box, the area or the zone of control of Aurora.
Yeah, and I love the fact that Light was able to be that focal point, right?
But
Really
early में ये
the
लोग कुछ
cornerstone to make sure that this
अच्छा कर
box
रहे थे।
actually works. You're
early
revealing
का
one edge of
उनके
it, but
पास था,
truly, do you
रोहन भी early का
see
player है,
every
but
single
still वो
angle?
थोड़ा
Most of
ज़्यादा
the
ही
time, it's
over जा
going to
रहे
be
थे
no.
भाई।
The best way to summarize the way the
हाँ,
game
भाई,
was basically
ऊपर से farm
played, it's
difference भी हो
checkers,
गया
right?
था
We're not
उनका
even getting
भी।
into the chess side
But
of it yet.
still
It's
Aurora ने
consistent
भाई
trades,
कितना
and eventually
अच्छा
Aurora
खेला
is
भाई।
able to get 2s and 3s.
जीत
And
गई भाई
the
बड़ा
reason why they're getting
तगड़ी तरह
2s
से भाई।
and 3s and when they're just giving up 1s is because they are good at turning into heroes that put a lot of priority, that they put a lot of priority in important heroes of Alter Ego. For example, if Phobius comes and jump into the Harriet and the Harriet doesn't have the ultimate, they immediately turn into that Phobius. When the Claude comes in, they will drop everything that they have and they will focus on that Claude. Aurora is so good at reacting to Alter Ego to the point where Alter Ego looks like they're creating those mistakes just because of how Aurora is instantaneous with their reactions.
I really like the refinement coming in from Aurora because again they know how they play. They just got to make sure that it's basically perfect. And in case something does go wrong, how do you react to it? And I gotta say, most of their reactions is actually from Edward. Edward made sure that no shenanigans is gonna be there. You guys.
भाई 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 कसम से भाई गेम बहुत अच्छा गया था भाई। नेक्स्ट गेम कितनी देर में है भाई उनका?
And the Freya, you're now Alter Ego. Do you now ban the Fredrin?
What do you think about next game, man?
I'm worried because
Tell
of
me
two
why.
things. Number one is that
अगला game कितना
Frederick's not there,
कैसा जाना
Leomar is going to
चाहिए?
be there, and Dibaka has already shown he has a pretty mean Akai. Now here's the thing, this is the World Championship, and our players need the best device just to make sure that everything happens smoothly. And for you guys at home, there's an extra edge for everyone. You guys get the Realme 15 Pro, because again, it has all the AI goodies, win rate predictions, analyze gold item, everything in real time, and it even have the consecutive skill function. So in case you're new to the hero, you can set your skills, and then with just one button, it can execute perfectly. Again, shout outs to the Realme 15 Pro, the M7 official gaming phone, for making sure they gave the very best experience to our players. You play, we carry. This is the Realme 15 Pro, the M7 official gaming phone.
Beautiful design, nice and
मेरी
sleek.
voice
It's got
आ रही है?
everything. Honestly, I like the size of it.
Are you
It fits my
bro?
hands really nicely. So I'm going to
My
keep
voice
this
is coming
the
out.
meantime. Don't worry about it.
And now, Gideon, would you mind inviting
Can you
V?
tell me
Because
where
V would
the
like to see this grand finals. V has been here the entire time, looking very cute. So, again, thank you very much to V. Come on, let's check out this guy and see what V has to say to us.
What is this, man?
B, but you don't have to be shy. You don't have to be shy, B. You can give it. Come on. Be brave. Be brave.
Alright, my name's V, you know. I'm from Visa, the brand that connects the whole world, like everywhere. My job's dead simple. Help you pay fast, safe and proper, smart. Shopping, traveling, even the little day-to-day bits. With V, you're sorted. No stress, sound that. So come on, let's crack on with a cashless life. That's
बाय 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 बाय। वॉइस आ रहा है मेरा? हेलो रियो ब्रो, मेरा वॉइस आ रहा है? भाई पहला मैच कितना तगड़ा गया।
हाँ आ रहा है,
पहला मैच कितना तगड़ा गया भाई। बट मैं अल्टरिगो को
आ रहा है।
मैं अल्टरिगो को सपोर्ट कर रहा था, लेकिन बस स्टिल मैन भाई तगड़ा खेला भाई अरोरा ने भाई। ड्राफ्ट भी अच्छा था और साथ में उनका अर्ली था नहीं तो थोड़ा सेफ खेलने का ट्राई करते, लेकिन अल्टरिगो ने ट्राई तो बहुत किया कि मतलब अर्ली में ही खत्म कर दें, बट
देखिए भाई 7 स्ट्राइक उसी का है।
वो अर्ली से ज़्यादा जल्दी खत्म करने के चक्कर में उनसे ज़्यादा मिस्टेक हो गया भाई, क्योंकि वो
M2 जीती, M3 जीती, M4 M5 M6
भाई, लेकिन ज़्यादा जल्दी करने के चक्कर में फिर वो फंस गए भाई उधर। वही प्रेशर वाला सीन हो जाता है ना। बट लेट गेम तो पूरा ही उनका था भाई, क्या कहते हैं अरोरा का। 10 मिनट के बाद का गेम तो रोरा का था, क्योंकि ड्राफ्ट भी उनका वैसा ही था। ऊपर से उनके पास तीन तीन टैंकी टाइप थे, तो इजी गेम उनका ही था भाई, जहाँ तक तो मैं सोचता हूँ। उनके पास सिर्फ क्लॉड था, मेन था उनके पास क्लॉड। बट पर एक चीज नोटिस की भाई, उनके पास जब वो भी जा रहे थे ना, क्या कहते हैं, जब उनके हैरिस के पास इन्वेट करने जा रहे थे, तो उनकी पूरी टीम रोटेट कर रही थी अरोरा की, है ना। और क्लॉड के पास जब अरोरा जा रही थी, तो इतनी जल्दी उनका अल्टर ईगो का सपोर्ट नहीं आ पा रहा था। तो वो भाई बहुत जल्दी ही, मतलब वो काफी अच्छा है भाई अरोरा के पास। जैसे अपना गेम था ना, जैसे मैं वहाँ फाइट कर रहा था स्मेल्डा के साथ, तो उनकी टीम आ गई थी, है ना, और अपनी टीम नहीं आ पाई थी, जैसे उनका रिएक्ट करने का वो था। तो वही सीन भाई इधर, इसी की वजह से मेनली तो उन्होंने, जैसे ही अरोरा के जो सपोर्ट में थे ना, जैसे बैकलाइनर्स थे, उन पे अगर थोड़ा थोड़ा सा भी अगर लगता है कि इन्वेड होने वाला है, क्या थोड़ा सा दिक्कत हो ना तुरंत उनके पास जो मेन तीन ऊपर के जो टैंक वाले हैं वो तुरंत आ जाते थे भाई। वो लाइट भाई, फारसा ने अल्ट खोला, लाइट तुरंत भाई फारसा के पास। व्हाट द हेल मैन, आर यू सीरियस भाई। उसने मिड को खेलने नहीं दिया, पता है, वो अल्ट खोला, वो तुरंत दौड़ के भाई फारसा के पास। भाई क्या सीन था भाई, मैं कह रहा भाई ये तो खेलने ही नहीं दे रहा उसको, फारसा को अपना पीछे जाना पड़ रहा था भाई बार बार। खैर फारसा के साथ उसका कॉम्बो अच्छा नहीं है कलेया का, है, फारसा के साथ कॉम्बो अच्छा नहीं है भाई कलेया का, ये तो मैंने देख लिया भाई,
Much
क्योंकि
points as you can to
कितना भी ट्राई कर ले भाई,
out
लेकिन
early. If you just, in a sense, just blow your load early, it makes it very difficult for you to draft later on, because then like, okay, there's just no more surprises.
I don't know, that sounds a little premature.
बट
Considering that
इसमें
both of
चाहता
these
हूँ भाई
teams
कि
are truly
थोड़ा सा
at the
कमबैक
top
करें
of
भाई,
their game, it's
अच्छा
really
लगेगा
trying
भाई,
to get as close to the
थोड़ा
edge
सा
as
कमबैक करे
possible
ना भाई।
without tipping over and losing your sense of self, right? Because once you have that clarity after you make those mistakes, I think that AE now coming into this draft might switch things up. First of all, I think it has to start with blue side, red side.
That's right. I think
Can I just say, I love your linguistic ability.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Yep. You're really good at this. And then we're talking about like the adjustments coming up from Alter Ego. They have to start with the blue side for sure. But now they also will have to think about their jungle choices. I think that the idea why they chose the Nolan makes sense in a
Why
vacuum,
bro,
because
ये तो
you
दिक्कत
need
हो रहा
an
है
assassin
इधर,
against the
ये
Jushin. You also
DC
need
पे।
a hero that can outpace this Fredrin. However, the Fredrin plus the Jushin combination is such a strong combo in a way that you can only counter one and not both. If you counter the Fredrin part, then the Jushin part will just be, free. And then when you try to counter the Jushin part, the Fredrin, as you saw in game number 1, will be free. So I think that the middle ground in that scenario is to go for fighters. That's why I really thought that the Suyo would be a better choice in that previous draft. Maybe a Guinevere eventually. I think that Alter Ego just have to really pick their battles, or maybe just make sure that they only have to solve one.
I would have to say something that I like about the draft coming in from Aurora or from Philippines in general is that they draft in a way where the margin of error is actually quite low. But now we have more surprises here in the MS7 World Championship. In fact, we're going to be throwing it over to the host to see, is there any more surprises for us?
Aurora Gaming Philippines takes the first blood in this best of 7 series. However, before we continue this action-packed series, we have some very exciting news to share with our MLBB fans.
We were pretty sure that everyone will love this, especially MLBB fans from Thailand. What exactly is it? Well, let's all watch this video.
ในฐานะทีมที่ได้แชมป์ไทยเยอะที่สุดมันถึงเวลาแล้วที่เราต้องมุ่งสู่ขั้นต่อไปนั่นคือการเป็นแชมป์โลกของจริง
ถ้าตั้งใจคนไทยไม่แพ้ชาติใดในโลกพวกเราจะพิสูจน์ให้เห็นในเวทีระดับโลก
อนา นาคตที่ยั่งยืนคือเป้าหมายของเราซึ่ง MLBB สามารถช่วยให้เราไปถึงเป้าหมายนั้นได้
พวกเราได้พิสูจน์ตัวเองแล้วพวกเราก็เป็นทีมแชมป์ในเกมโมบายบนมือถือได้เหมือนกันและตอนนี้พวกเรา
केवल इंडिया नहीं आ पाया
ก็
भाई
อยาก
क्या
จะเชิ
चल
ญห
रहा
น้า
है भाई
กับ
अपना इंडिया
ความ
नहीं
ท้า
जा पा
ทาย
रहा बस bye
ไป
man
กับ
what is
MLB
this nonsense what is
ถ้าเพื่อ
this
อนาค
bro
ตที่รออยู่ข้างหน้า ต่อให้อุปสรรคจะถาโถมเข้ามาแบบไหน พวกเราก็ไม่หวั่น
จงกล้าในวันที่คนอื่นกลัวการที่เราเป็นผู้บุกเบิกสิ่งใหม่แม้มันอาจจะยากแต่มันคือโอกาส
ที่รู้กันพวกเราคือทีมแห่งโอกาส และในเมื่อมีโอกาสใหม่ๆเข้ามา พวกเราก็ยินดีรับมันไว้
โอกาสจะมาถึงมือคนที่ไม่ยอมแพ้เท่านั้น และโอกาสที่ว่านั้นก็ได้มาถึงมือพวกเราแล้ว
MLBB คือเกมที่จะพาประเทศไทยไปสู่ระดับโลกได้อย่างแท้จริง การันตีด้วยยอดผู้เล่นกว่า 1,500 ล้านคนในมากกว่า 200 ภูมิภาคและประเทศทั่วโลก แถมยังมียอดเข้าชมการแข่งขันอีสปอร์ตบนมือถือ พร้อมกันมากที่สุดในโลกประจำปี 2025 ถึง 4 ล้าน 1 แสนวิว และถูกเสนอชื่อเข้าชิงรางวัลในรายการ The eSport Award และ The Game Award ถึง 2 ปีซ้อน ประเทศไทยพร้อมลุยแล้ว ร่วมประกาศศักดาของไทยให้ทั้งโลกได้เห็นกัน
MSL मोबाइल लेजेंड बैंग सुपर लीग थाईलैंड सीजन 1 भाई ऐसी इंडिया की लीग बननी चाहिए इंडिया की भी लीग बननी चाहिए भाई ऐसे
And there you guys
भाई इंडिया
have
की लीग
it.
बननी चाहिए भाई
A
ऐसे
new regional tournament is officially here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mobile Legends Bang Bang Super League Thailand launches this year.
This league will feature 10 elite teams composed of 8 established Thai powerhouses and 2 teams from open qualifiers.
And Glenn, I actually heard that some of the MSL Thailand representatives are here in the arena with us watching the M7, and I cannot wait to see them in action. Also, guys, for your information, MSL Thailand directly connects the region to the global MLBB ecosystem, as their champions will have a slot in the MSC 2026 wildcards.
This is a huge note for Thailand's legacy in MLBB that began with their victory at the first MLBB International Championship in MSC 2017.
Yes, sir. Now don't forget to tune in to MSL Land as the open qualifiers begin in March. For now, let's continue on our best of 7 series. Let the world see us.
Bye bye bye.
Yes, sir,
Yes.
dude! Oh boy,
Go
really
for
excited
game
to have
2, man.
Thailand here with everybody else. And more importantly,
Let's go for game 2, man.
all the way from MSC and now reintroducing this previous legacy region back to the modern age.
All right, just to confirm. All right, I can hear my voice. That's perfect. And yes, shout out to Thailand. Can't wait to go back there again for the wildcards. Well,
Let's
hopefully we
turn
get to go
into
there, right? But
game
either
2.
ways, right now in this best of 7, we can see all 10 players are already on stage. Looking at the faces of Alter Ego, they look calm, they look happy. So I'm really feeling like, okay, game 1, we learned quite a few things. Now it's really all about adjustment. I feel like honestly, when it comes to draft, I think it's honestly quite good. You know, everything is okay. It really is just about the execution, and I really feel like it's just Aurora just being one
What
step
do
ahead
you
because
guys
they've been using this
think
since
who
forever,
will win
right?
this
And
match?
they were so instant when
Game
it comes
2.
to their picks, right? When they saw that it was the Claude, they instantly go for the Frederick.
Just
They
tell
didn't
me,
even
buddy.
waste any second to pick those up, and then they all also went for their comfort picks with the Lapu Lapu as well as the Hydas. Some people will say that the Esmeralda will be better against the Phobius and whatnot, and against the Farsta you can't have that high loss, but they still went for that because they're not that concerned about their opponents' strategy. They're more concerned about can they actually execute their box. And you saw in the previous game, they are so systematic with it. When somebody jumps, they will go deal with the high loss. They help each other out when it comes to their box setups, and Dominic Demon Kite, I mean, so reliable with the taunts.
He's really good at it. They have the golden trifecta of the Zushin. made sure that they have the high loss, and on top of all of that, having a Fredrin, I don't see them becoming an impenetrable wall without that golden trifecta.
Cloud.
Hopefully, we will see something a little different here in
अरे broken wall
walls.
वाला है भाई,
Nice
broken wall वाला
transition
है.
there again. Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, because we are in Broken Walls. Alter Ego will be first pick. And look at this. Already banning out those
The utility jumper.
risky utility jumpers, man.
Good ban भाई.
Yes, that's how I
उधर से भी
describe
अच्छा
them.
ban है भाई.
Risky. Deal with it.
Khalid ban मारा है.
Am I wrong?
Only
though?
I mean,
What,
I don't think you're wrong, but they definitely
Because they do step on you.
They do step on you. They come into full contact on purpose, right? And I still like the idea that AE needs to get rid of this Khalid.
Fanny good
but at
ban
the same
because
time,
Yasuke literally
does this disrupt the trifecta? You don't have
God
the
in
utility jungles
Fanny,
anymore.
man.
I feel like AE wants to
Literally
force
awesome,
Aurora
man,
in a
with
more
Fanny.
coin flippy style of composition.
Maybe
That's why the
somewhere along
ban-
the lines of a Croc, because
that
it
was
is
a good
actually
ban,
available
man.
as of now. At the same time though, are they actually willing to play the Jushin? We do know that it is a very strong hero, but we rarely get to see Alter Ego pick that up. However, I still feel like it's the best mage that we have right now in the metagame, just because it allows for you to be snowbally in the laning stage when you get the turtle so easily, and even in the latter portions, because of the Sky Spear, can actually back up a punch, can actually impact the team fights. Seems like there will be a little bit of a change.
I mean, like, here's the thing, Wolf. I don't know about you, but I love Jushin, man. Any reason to pick it up, I'll pick it up. Because Jushin is one of those heroes that's really not selfish. Right? She will always help people out. And if attention gets on her, she can protect herself.
She's literally like,
She don't need no man.
She's literally like the most tanky mage we have in the meta.
Yes.
Kind of ridiculous how the design of it made her like impossible to deal with at times, but I feel at the bare minimum, this might be a mistake.
What is
I
happening,
think that
man?
right now, holding on to just Freya alongside with the Jushin, there has to be some kind of leeway here. There needs to be some kind of give and take.
I gotta say, sometimes I feel like she's as tanky as a grok. Which, a big wall of a castle, and a girl that doesn't even wear shoes. Make it make sense. Floating
the
around.
lantern with butterflies, you know. What I feel like, what makes
Yep, there you go. I agree. Yeah.
Jushin really strong is that.
You guys love Jushin too, right? Yes,
भाई,
everyone loves
Aurora
Jushin.
Of course, of course.
ज़्यादा लोग support कर रहे हैं भाई.
I lost my favorite thought, but yeah,
Alter
Jushin is
Ego
a hero that actually
qualified.
activates most of the junglers, even when they're assassin junglers. Obviously, Fredrin with a Jushin or
Yeah,
any
Alter Ego
utility
ने काफी
jungler
अच्छा
with a
खेला है,
Jushin is already
लेकिन
pretty good. But
बड़ी
you play the
मुश्किल से
assassin
भाई
just
वो
because of your mid lane prio, how strongly you can affect the mid lane when it comes to the laning stage, that makes Jushin really a big threat when it comes to it's really a first pick worthy hero.
Honestly, it's very interesting where Munda
एक झटके में
tried
भाई Aurora
to
भी
adjust
चला
her
गया
thinking
भाई.
like, okay, now we'll
Aurora
see something.
कम
He's
आगे
like,
भाई
no, you kind of
Alter
made
Ego
it
काफी ज़्यादा
stronger.
हो गया.
Yep. It's really difficult to balance this hero,
बहुत
right? Because again, it has such a unique mechanic that outranges literally everybody at level 1, and there's nothing you can do about it, you know? With the only exception being Kimmy, but that's only when her passive is up and you can zone her off the wave anyways.
Yeah, I kind of don't want Munda to adjust her that much.
But
there's so many nerfs to Jushin, but still
What happened,
first pick
man?
worthy.
Why they don't not ban
it's kind of
body?
like Cho, the kit is always going to be relevant.
The kid is always so good.
Yeah, I think Cho and Claude, they're both like M-series heroes, you know?
Yeah,
You know what?
as well.
No, here's the thing. I really have this theory. There are certain heroes, no matter what, you can one-trick them. Like Cho is the best example. Even if the damage Cho is bad, you have tank. If tank Cho is bad, you go damage. And if either is bad, you're good. It doesn't matter.
Cho is a type of hero where you can have a 10-month drought in a year, and then come the M series.
What happened, buddy?
It will still be a success. It will still be a priority pick. You know.
That's why he has a lot of skins.
It's so
Yeah,
good. It's so. I wouldn't be so. I wouldn't be too surprised if there was like a subreddit r/Way of the Dragon just for Cho. It makes so much sense.
Yep, there you go. We have
talked about both of these heroes, the first Jushin and then the Grok.
Grok into Leomord. They banned out the Freya at the very least, so still respect there from Rora.
Okay, so how do you answer this, Alter Ego? You don't necessarily want to go for the Claude immediately because there's the Grok. I think you also can take away Harith. At the same time, though, that will be not a good hero for it. So this is super interesting for Alter Ego because now we can see how they will now manage to counter
Aurora.
Previously, they went in for the Claude, then eventually the Suyo. However, because they already showed that before, Aurora might be prepared against that.
What if they went?
I think they.
What guys do you think who will win this match, buddy? You saw?
Cho.
Well, I was expecting the chill. I
Yuzong
wasn't
was
so sure
good.
about
What?
the Yuzong. I was thinking more along the lines of Sora first to kind of keep things open, but this is a very direct way to play the comp.
I think the Farsa will be picked up here by Aurora, but then again, Harith is also available. I think just between those two heroes will be the third pick here for Aurora. I think the Farsa
Just
is
the
a
pick
much better pickup.
Farsa.
I mean, like, here's the thing. This is why I feel
You.
like Alter
पहले
Ego,
गुड हो
they're
जाएगा भाई,
like
गुड हो
being
जाएगा
honest.
भाई.
Because again, look at them, they're like, okay, we kind of
भाई
know
भाई
where
भाई
everything
बोला
is
ना
going,
भाई
but at the
यही
same
होने
time,
वाला
you're
भाई.
like, wait,
इन
where
तीनों
is
में
this
से
going?
MM जाएंगे भाई और ज्यादा कुछ नहीं होगा भाई और
What we
MM
do
का.
know is that Aurora is going into the
Because they have lots of
direction.
range,
It's
man.
Farsa and the Grok, a worthy
They are
adversary
really good.
to watch Cho Jushin mid late. I think that matchup
What's
is so
going
even.
to ban?
Really favors the Farsa and the Grok because of the wall in third round part, but from then on, this mid lane battle is probably one of the strongest like mid lane battles we'll ever get to see.
No, yeah, I appreciate this duo, you know. Choshin and Farok are amazing.
Roxa.
Groxa.
I like that. I like that a lot better.
I kind of like Farok.
Farok, yeah.
Because you can create a
Farshok.
skin. Farshot. Nah, but like Rock, you know, like imagine Farsa with the guitar and Grok with drums.
I like that. I like
What
that.
is
That's a
this,
skin
man?
idea.
That's a skin idea.
Yeah, that's
You know, rock out.
Make it happen.
That's the duo that's going to be rocking my world in just a little bit. Uranus
Good
ban
ban,
for the
bhai.
side of
Good
AE. I
ban,
think
good
this is
ban.
to be expected. Do they want to double down with an Esme on top of it, or do they want to diversify?
I think the Esmeralda just is such a good ban because they will not have enough for that.
मेरे को ऐसा
They only have
ये
the
लोग
Cho and the
YSS ले
Jushin.
ले और उधर भी एक टैंक ही ले ले भाई
There are
अच्छा
few
खासा
heroes that
स्मिला
could
ले ले
actually
या
survive
फिर
this mid lane duo, and
वो ले
Esmeralda
ले
is definitely one of
फ्रिया
those
बैन
heroes.
है but
It's a worthy
they can
ban.
pick
At the same
Smrila,
time, there
Lapu
was a
and
time where the
anything
Glue
else
and the
like
Farsa was used to
Sora.
counter the Yuzhong. Even someone like
CC,
Sanford,
like,
who mains
they
the
also
Yuzhong,
can pick
will not
ban.
survive that kind of lane. So, Glue and Esmeralda might be the choices here for Zephyr when it comes to the ban.
So right now for Aurora, they already banned out the Guinevere. What other jungler are they looking out for?
Ooh,
It looks like they want to take
Esmeralda,
away
man.
the Esmeralda, so there's a good chance.
They want a Lapu, I feel like.
Yeah.
And Harith, obviously. I think this is the fourth pick Harith for Aurora. And now if you're Zephyr, you're going to be thinking about, do I ban Harith or do I focus on the Edward hero? I believe that banning out Dominkite might be better because you can really never have enough bans against Edward.
Do you feel like Aurora will go Claude?
Ban.
Oh man.
I think Aurora will go Harith.
All right.
I think most comfortable they go Harith. Worst comes to worst they go Granger, right?
Yes. It's not even. I wouldn't say there you
Ban?
go. It's the Harith ban. Well done,
Good.
Zephyr.
Good ban,
But then
good
you're
ban.
left with Granger still for Aurora. Oh.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like Granger used to have the Claude, so it's like still good, you know?
Yeah, it's still good no matter
I
what,
want
but at the end of the day, you know that the troll on
wait
the other
for
side, you have to take the Purify, which
Alter
does
Ego
hurt the
pick,
odds
then
in
go
lane when
for
you end
Gang
up
up,
fighting low
मतलब
for the all-in.
gold
Considering how
pick.
often we see both teams kind of
Last
rotate
gold
to the
picking.
opposite sides of the
That
map.
was good,
Yeah.
man.
Looking like a.
Oh,
they still went
ho,
Claude.
ho,
Well
ho.
done. Well, they seal it away though. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like the whole theme of M7 as well is just to make sure that you win lane.
Yeah.
And again, Claude has a favorable lane against most matchup. Now that the Freya is not there, even against a Granger,
Yeah.
it's still going to be fine.
I really like it. Now, I think you're left with that.
Do they go
Harith
East and
up-
Shin?
Yisun Shin against Farsa, Grok, and Leomord. That might be
Yeah, very
Why
Farsa
is this-
ego.
If
And
they pick
I
Bison
think
and
they will just go Suyo, honestly.
Granger.
Suyo, Granger.
No, bro.
Just
Why
run
Granger?
it back.
Run it back, but it's going to cost
So
you a little bit.
you.
It's a good call by Iron Wolf, but at the
Uh,
same
that's-
time, the
that's
damage
good.
profile doesn't it's a lot more manageable for the side of Aurora. Antiques come through, and
That one was good,
some
man.
Dom Ices, it's
Really
going
good.
to be a tough game.
Now, Glue is just perfect, I would say, for Aurora. Patrick, with this kind of composition, that's gonna really tear up Alter Ego apart. But then the safest option is the Lapu Lapu. You can always just go back to that.
I think there is an opportunity to go above and beyond and play Arlet because there's a lot of enablers for the side of Aurora, and you need somebody who actually can force out not only Purifies, but shove Jushin back into the fight.
This is a bit off, but I kind of feel like I kind of hope there's no more skins for the glue, so that can be the ultimate skin that he
Sora.
has. And now
Good pick.
Aurora, they finish it up with the Sora. Again, a lot of crowd
Good
control
one,
when you
good
do
one,
need
good
it.
one, good one.
You can go for
Bye.
more damage.
That's
What do you think about the side lane matchups here, Wolf?
Pretty even, but Nah, I think it's Aura sided. Yeah, I would go for Aurora actually. after a few seconds of thinking, yeah, this is Aurora.
I think it really depends on who's going to get that first blood. If Nino wins out his lane, I think this is going to be a very interesting mid game.
I mean, like, again, this is all about momentum. Whoever has, I would say,
Izuka
the good
also have a
5
good
minutes of the game can really start to control the tempo. So now, ladies and gentlemen, the drafts has been done.
What
We're
do you
jumping
think, buddy?
into broken walls for game number 2 of this grand finals. Now we're gonna give it back to Leo, Trex, and Mirko.
Select adjustments coming in from these two teams going into game number 2. Will alter egos changes spell a different result, or will Rora continue to push forth?
I like it at this point. I mean, here's my big problem coming from Rora. Well, coming from Rora for AE. The Sora right now, I think, was the winning piece of this draft in my mind. I think it's something that it's gotten overlooked in the last game, and right now coming in, it's going to be something that can jump into the back line, can do damage to Arfi, can get onto Hijume, and can also be a nice
भाई हाँ अर्ली में तो अभी वीक ही है ना तो लेवल 4 से तो पहले वीक ही है इतना ज़्यादा भी वो नहीं है
this well.
Yeah, it's really, really good by Aurora Gaming Philippines there, but I think for Alter Ego, they built a very, very good core foundation for those neutral objective takes. The Yuzong with the Suyo.
Alter Ego still good man right now.
SRG played it, got
Alter
a really
Ego
good game
भाई
against Alter
काफी
Ego.
It's one of the few key wins on the hero that has all last year's World Championships. Also, the reason why this is such a comfortable Suyo game for Yasuke is there's only really one painful source of magic damage, and that's Yue. And this lineup, I'd say, is built to hunt down Yue. Nino on the Yuzhong, even Alec can, get Hoki and kick him right out of the skies.
Yeah, but getting the Grok and then getting